everyone, welcome back to Stephanie Plans and Reads. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a quarter four reset. There are some things that I was saying in my quarter three wrap up. If you want to go check that out and then come back to this, I'll put a link up there. So when I was going through my quarter three, there were some things that weren't working, and I wanted to fix them, quote unquote, before 2025. So I wanted to take the last quarter and kind of figure out where I'm going wrong and try to fix them before next year. So this is my, you'll have seen this is my reading journal. I'm not changing anything about this, so I'll just put this aside. Really, the problem came with a couple of things from like my perspective, my behavior, and then also from the way I'm interacting with this. So one of the things is these quarterly habits. So I was really good with quarter one and quarter two filling out these habits, but in quarter one I was putting things that I always did every day. So for example, reading. So I realized I didn't need to have that on my habit tracker, so I took that off. And then I was doing well, but there were some habits here that I was just never doing or not enough. So flossing, for example, I think I did it like once or twice in the whole of the times that I was tracking it. And obviously that wasn't working because I wasn't doing it. So I wanted to kind of find a new way of doing that. And then also in September, I started to really fall off of remembering to track my habits, and then I hurt my back, and then it just kind of spiraled, and so I never got back on the tracking, bandwagon here. So I tried to think, what are the behaviors that I want to take into 2025? And what are the things that I keep saying I want to do, but that I never actually do? And now this might be a neurodivergent thing because I have a chronic illness, and that kind of has some combinations or some qualities with neurodivergency. And from what I'm reading about, specifically ADHD and the inattentive type, is that there are some commonalities in terms of wanting to do something but never actually doing them, and for a variety of reasons. So I thought, well, how can I support myself in doing these things? So the first thing I thought of was to reduce the amount of things that I'm asking myself to do every month in terms of like building a new habit. So I really want to do these three things. So I want to floss, I want to do my eye drops, and I want to do my skincare. And these are all related to, well, not really so much flossing, but eye drops and skincare are related to, conditions I have. So I have dry eyes, I need to remember to use the eye drops. I have rosacea, it needs some skincare. So I have intrinsic reasons for wanting to do these. Flossing, I feel like it's probably one of those things where I was told by my dentist you should be flossing, and I know it's good for me. So I don't really have, beyond that, another reason for flossing, but I want to do it. So hopefully I can, step up here. So that was my first thing, is just trying to narrow down the things that I'm tracking, and really trying to maybe spend October getting these things to be a little bit more like habits. And then maybe, you know, throughout the quarter, I can introduce more things. Of course, that doesn't mean that this will be the only things I do that day, but hopefully, yeah, I can start increasing some, you know, frequencies of these habits. The other thing that wasn't working was the fact that because of my illness, I was having extreme brain fog. So to the point where I forget often, I'm sure you've noticed in my videos, I forget the word that I'm trying to say, which is not, you know, that big of a deal. But one of the things that's really bothering me is I'm forgetting like appointments, I'm forgetting medication, I'm forgetting information that people tell me. And I have these planners and then it seems like I'm not utilizing them the way I need to use them. And so, for example, so this is like a nice spread. It's got stickers all over it. I've written what I've done that week and stuff like that. And this is great. And this is what I show on YouTube and Instagram and, you know, all the things. But I tend not to write like notes in a kind of scratch form that have information that I want to remember, like grocery lists or not even the whole list, like just realizing, oh, we're out of oil, and then writing oil down, or things that come up during the day. Oh, don't forget that, you know, if I've got an email, for example, and it asks me to do something, I don't always write those things down because it's not going to look like, okay, one reason is because it's not going to fit with the like aesthetic. So if it doesn't follow into, let's get it like this example. So if it doesn't follow into a to-do and it's not part of my great gratitude or my reflection, then it doesn't really fit. And so then I tend not to know like where I'm supposed to put that information. And I also tend to think, oh, I'll remember that, which I should never, those words should never come out of my mouth because I will not remember. So I've started to Hobonichi weeks enters. I've started to use this as like the back pages as like I think I can show everything in here as like a random notes, just like a notepad really. And so I can write down like a little piece of information I want to use for something, a little bit of what we're going to have to eat this week, and then some of the groceries that I need to pick up, little things that I have to add to some, you know, form. This was a good little diagram of how I'm going to rearrange the kitchen cabinets. These are examples of some bills. So I have this information. So I need to like have somewhere where I can write down just random like junk basically. Is that too high? Yeah. So if I can, you know, write down just things that can be messy and that aren't for necessarily for YouTube or for, you know, no stickers, just kind of a brain dump. And I know that this is common with people who have, like, for example, ADHD, that they often benefit from just having a thing that they just kind of dump on. And then this stuff I can transfer to this planner if it needs to be, or if it doesn't need to be, I can just scratch it off. And it's not meant to be like shared. It's just for me. And I've started to like carry this now with me, like wherever I go. And so then when people say something, or I need a particular list or some information, I can just write it in here. And I mean, there's some, like there's a date here. Now, so this isn't a good example here. Now I know what this date is, but because I haven't written anything beside it, how am I meant to remember if I don't remember what that is? So I'm going to put this because it's a doctor's appointment. But then I'm going to transfer, so this information, then I will transfer to my monthly. And it is on the 16th. So the 16th I will write doctors 340. And I should probably put what doctor it is because I do see a few doctors. So that's an example of how I might use it. So this is rough and this is kind of good copy, if you'd say. Now, that might seem excessive and it might seem like, oh, well, if you're going to be using a planner, you should use it the way works for you and not just like to make it look pretty. But it's not just about the function for me. I also, like, I need the function, of course, but I also like making it pretty. So this kind of system is working, seems to have been working well. So this is what I want to take into Q4, is just having a place where I can write a whole bunch of just brain, it's more than brain dump. It's because I have done a brain dump on the back pages, and that's fine. This is more of a, like a little, like, I don't know, like a little brain, messy brain. And then once I've got it in here, I can transfer it to here if I need to. Some of the stuff, which is really great for me, is to be able to write it down and then slash it off. Like, I don't have to think about that. And it's good for my brain too, because otherwise I'd be kind of going over things over and over and over and over again. If I just write them down and then either use that information, put that information where it belongs, or I can just scratch it off. So yeah, so this is what I'm taking into Q4. So these kind of smaller, habit trackers, and then a messy book where I just write down anything. I had originally thought I would move my social media in here, but after, just kind of a couple of days of things that I have missed appointments, I've missed things, I've realized that I need something like this. I have also been thinking, I saw ADH Dunn, I think that's her, I'll put her link to her video, and she had a kind of partner planner that was a bit of like an instruction manual for her. So basically things like, these are all the meds I take, these are all the things that I like, the things that, comfort foods, just a variety of things. And I think I want to do something similar, is just to have either kind of small section either in my main planner or in, its own entity, where it has like things like I keep going back to and trying to find the, information. So things like medicines, doctor's appointments, times I've been admitted to the hospital, key like banking information, key tax information, those kinds of things. I end up having to like look through old planners and old journals, diaries to find that information, and I would like those kind of big bullet points to be housed in a place where it's easy for me to find. So these are the things I'm going to work on in quarter 4. This is part of my quarter 4 reset. Do you have anything that you need to work on in quarter 4? Anything that you want to reset? I've also decided that I am going to use my Uniball as my main pen, even in my main planner. So normally I use my Klena because I like the kind of dark black here. But I find, and this is totally, I don't know, some sort of weird brain thing, but I find that when I'm writing with this pen, I am more free with my expression, which is hard to explain, but like I find that I'm more, when I'm writing with this, I often print, and I try to make it neat, and I think that sometimes supersedes getting the information down. When I'm writing with this, I just kind of tend to get things down. And I want to see if my attitude toward my planner changes a bit if I'm using this. And honestly, quarter 4 is the best time to do some experiments because we're moving into 2025, and in 2025, I want to kind of have an idea of how I want to start the year. And so 2024, quarter 4 is where I'm going to be doing my experimentation and then really trying to cement some habits and behaviors that I want moving into 2025. So let me know if you are doing anything similar, if you've had a quarter 4 reset, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.